All right, good afternoon. It is that time again. It's our live boot camp. Thank you, everyone who's joined already, and I know we'll have more that are coming in. But happy Move Monday! It is our last Monday of June, which is kind of hard to, or sorry, not our last Monday of June, but next Monday being Memorial Day weekend. We'll have our live boot camp today. Typically, our live boot camps will be that last Monday in June. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We will get into our exercises here shortly, but I just wanted to take a few moments here at the beginning to go through some of our announcements of things coming up and different things that you need to keep on your radar, on your calendar. Coming up June 4th, couple things coming up June 4th. We have our color run. So if you're looking for a nice little fun race to do, that's just a good time, hopefully good weather. This upcoming June 4th. So June 4th, the color run. Try to sign up if you can by next Monday. So if you're going to register for that, look for registering for that before by May 30th at the latest. So again, color run coming up June 4th. Also starting June 4th, the 10,000 steps a day challenge. It is that time of year again. If some of you in here may remember that from previous years, we do have our 10,000 steps a day challenge starting June 4th. It's an 8-week challenge, and that goes through the end of July 30th. So it's not too late to register for that. The thing you want to do, and I'll show you right now, you want to download the MoveSpring app, and then you want to type in the code, all caps, CTA 10K steps, and that will prompt you to join the CTA team. So you'll see that. But if you go to your phone, the app looks like this. It says MoveSpring on it. It'll give you it'll prompt you to type in a code to register with the team. Again, that's CTA 10K steps, all caps. And that'll get you into the group. There's already hundreds of others from the CTA that have joined in on that. So that'll be fun. There will be individual challenges, team challenges. There will be prizes. So I'll definitely be participating on that. So it'll be a really good time. But again, that's starting June 4th. But it's not too late. You can start getting those steps now. And as we go into today's live boot camp, you may have seen that the theme being the 10,000 steps challenge coming up. We will definitely be going over some stretches and exercises to prime our bodies for that type of movement. So yes, walking is exercise. It's phenomenal cardiovascular exercise if you're doing it with that intent of exercise and not like a really slow walking pace. But walking is exercise, and something that I thought was a really cool little fact, something to just kind of keep in the back of your mind. 10,000 steps. If you went outside right now and you walked 10,000 steps around the city or wherever you live, 10,000 steps is equal approximately, do you know how many miles that is? Approximately 5 miles. So if you walk at least 10,000 steps, that is approximately 5 miles of walking. And then something else that I thought that was kind of a sad fact is that I looked up what is the average, how many steps on average do you think a typical adult takes? 3,500. The average adult only takes 3,500 steps a day. So well below that 10,000 steps. So we're trying to get at least 10,000 steps a day forever, but especially during this 8-week challenge. So again, we'll be going over some of those exercises. Also, I'm Coach Brandon. I didn't mean to not introduce myself. I know I'm seeing a lot of some familiar names in here, maybe some newbies. Thank you so much again for joining every Monday, not just on these live boot camps, but every Monday on our YouTube channel, the Live Well, Work Well YouTube channel. Myself, I release Move Monday pre-recorded videos from workouts to nutrition to health information. And then every Thursday, Johannes, our new life coach, will be putting up Thoughtful Thursdays. So if you've seen those, great. If not, look for those coming up and make sure you subscribe to that Live Well, Work Well YouTube channel. All right, everybody. So it's about that time. I know I'm still seeing some more of you come in. For those of you that just came in, I am so thankful to have you joining with our workout today. And I know we're just a few minutes past the hour, but I do know that we'll probably have at least a handful more people coming in within the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. But again, I hope you had a really nice weekend. I'm going to get into this. And again, before we do start these exercises, I did just want to briefly explain again, kind of what the workout's going to look like. We're going to start off today with a few stretches. So the stretches are going to focus on muscle groups that we'll be using during this workout today. So we're going to be warming up those muscles, getting those muscles stretched out and primed. Stretching out the muscles are important because it helps to reduce risks of injury and soreness. By stretching before working out and after, you reduce the risks of soreness from your workouts. So a day, 2, even 3 days after a workout, sometimes you can feel really sore. By doing a little bit of stretching, you're going to reduce, the severity of soreness and stiffness that you typically can get from a workout. So again, we'll start off with a few stretches, and then we'll be going through some exercises today that are specifically designed to work out some of the muscle groups that we need to warm up and use when we're walking around, running around, just our daily movement, but especially getting ready for this 10,000 steps a day challenge. Some really great exercises to get the hips moving, get our legs, our lower body especially moving today. We'll get our heart rate elevated, but again, today we'll be focusing on getting those bodies ready for that 10,000 steps a day challenge. So I'm going to move back to my little mat here. If you don't have a mat, that's okay, but hopefully, ideally, if you have some sort of a soft surface, if you're on carpet, or if you have like a towel or two, you can put down something that's going to give you a little bit of cushion, reduce that impact a little bit is going to be ideal. But I'm going to move my chair back here. I may use that for an exercise or two as a way to give you an option for some of these exercises. But we're going to start off first with a few stretches. Now, these stretches, again, are going to be stretching out mostly lower body muscles that are associated with muscles that we use during exercise, like walking for exercise or running and jogging. A lot of those muscle groups in our lower body. So we're going to start off here with one of my favorite stretches. It stretches a lot of different muscles, but especially our lower body. We're going to go through what's called a runner's lunge with rotation. So this runner's lunge here, I'm going to start off with 1 foot forward, my back knee on the floor behind me, chest, as I have my chest up nice and tall, I'm going to push my hips forward, then I'm going to reach down to the ground here. My left hand is touching the ground, my right foot is forward. So my left hand is at the front here. My right arm, I'm going to rotate up toward the ceiling, my gaze is following my hand up to the ceiling, and then back down. We're just going to do 5 of those on this side, then we'll rotate and do 5 on the other. So again, push those hips forward, one hand down to the ground, and then one arm up toward the ceiling, slowly back down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Make sure you are safely bringing your hips back. We're going to rotate now, other knee back, other foot forward. Still pushing my hips forward now. My left foot is forward. My right hand is down on the ground. And I'm going to rotate up to the left. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one on this side. And 5. Good. Okay. Now our next stretch, we're going to get into, this is going to be, that last stretch, there was a little bit of shoulder mobility, but you probably felt a good stretch in your hamstrings a little bit, in your quads, maybe in your butt, your glutes, your lower back. That was our main focus on that one. Our next stretch here, though, definitely helping to stretch out our chest, our shoulder girdle a little bit. We're going to go into what's called a bird dog or a threading the needle. I like calling it threading the needle. That's kind of exactly what it looks like. So we're going to get on all fours here. What I'm going to start with, knees directly below my hips, arms directly below my shoulders. I'm going to take one arm and I'm going to reach down and through my other arm and then slowly back up. So you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch. Back muscles here, a little bit in your shoulder, and then back up. We're going to do 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Here we go. So remember, starting off here, one arm threading through, and then back. 1, 2, stretching through as far as you can. 3, 4, 5. All right, go switch over to the other side. Same thing. Reaching through as far as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 4 on this side. And 5. Good, good, good. So if I felt a little bit of a stretch going, that's good. Maybe feel your body warming up a little bit. That's ideal too. We want that blood flow, that oxygen increased, the amount of oxygen and blood flow increased to our muscle groups. So you're feeling the stuff warming up a little bit. That's good. Our last stretch here is going to really stretch out our hamstrings, our calves a little bit, our lower back, our glutes, pretty much the entire back of our body. This is going to be really good for increasing our range of motion for reaching our toes. So you might have a hard time if you've got your legs straight. You may not be able to reach your toes. Most people, unfortunately, can't. A lot of tightness back there, but I'm going to help you to increase that range of motion right now with this stretch. So what we're going to do, you're going to have your feet at least shoulder width apart here. You don't want to go wider, but about shoulder width apart. I want to keep my legs as straight as I can. I don't want to really bend my knees on this one. I'm only reaching as far as I can where I start to feel a good stretch. If you start to feel any pain from any of these, you definitely want to scale back that range of motion just a little bit. Little discomfort, that's okay. But if you start feeling a lot of pain, that's not the plan. So with this stretch here, we're going to reach down as far as I can without bending my legs. And then when I come up, I'm going to reach my arms as high up above my shoulders as I can. So what I mean by that, I'm going to hinge forward at my hips here, reaching down as far as I can, only up until the point where I'm not bending my knees. So if you start bending your knees, bring it back up a little bit. Here we go. We're going to do 5 reps. 1, reach as far as you can. 2, 3, 4. Again, 1 more here. 5. Okay, so a little bit of a stretch there going on in the back of our bodies, a little bit of increased blood flow, a little bit of an elevated heart rate as we go through these movements. So those are our quick 3 stretches I wanted to go through before we get into our exercises. Now, again, these exercises today are specifically designed to focus on mostly our lower body, to not only increase our range of motion, but to also strengthen our lower bodies for exercise involving lower body movement, especially walking, jogging, running. It's going to help not only strengthen the lower body, but reduce risks of injury involved with that type of movement. So we're going to start off here. This one's a little bit more of a cardiovascular kind of high-paced exercise. We're going to be doing what are called butt kicks for about 30 seconds. We're going to be kicking our own butts today. So with your butt kicks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up one heel at a time toward my butt. So it's going to be a faster pace. You're essentially running in place, but bringing up your heels as high as you can up to your butt. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. We'll go on to the next exercise, okay? So 30 seconds of butt kicks. This will really get the heart rate up as well. Here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're on the clock. Make sure you're breathing through this movement, kicking up our heels toward our butt. We're about halfway there, 15 more seconds. Home stretch. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so couple goals with that exercise. Get the blood flow going, get the heart rate up a little bit, getting the body warmed up, but also we are increasing our range of motion around some of our lower body muscles and joints. So our next exercise is going to be a little bit slower, but we're still working the lower body. We're going to get to a lunge position here. If you need to hold on to a chair, have your hand up on a wall for balance, stability, that's okay. But with what we're going to do here, we're going to go into a lunge position. We're going to pulse, though. We're going to pulse in this lunge position. So we're going to get down into lunge. We're going to pulse. We're going to do 12 on one side, 12 on the other. So what I mean by pulse is going to be a small movement. So only about a couple inches down, a couple inches up. Do 12 reps on one side, 12 reps on the other. Here we go. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You probably felt a good burn going on in there. That exercise, focusing on just those muscles right here in that front leg especially, you probably start to feel a little burn. Here we go, alternating the other side. 12 reps total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, good. So now starting to feel a good burn in my legs. If you're doing these right now, I'm sure you're feeling a little bit of a burn as well. Our next exercise here, we're going to do from a standing position. Now, these are exercises that I highly recommend. If you're not doing them right now, or if you are, that's great, but I highly recommend doing some or all of these exercises prior to some sort of a walk or jog or run workout. It'll really get the body warmed up. If you're not doing these now, that's okay. This will be on our YouTube channel. Again, our YouTube page, Well Work Well YouTube page. So if you're not able to do these now, we'll be able to go back and go through these exercises. So our next exercise here, we're doing what's called a knee to elbow exercise, but this from a standing position. You can do this from a laying down or even a seated position, but we're going to do this one from a standing position today. So by knee to elbow, what I mean by that, I'm going to bring one knee up, one elbow down in the middle toward my core. There's a little bit of a core stability, core strength element here, but there is, we're working on some of our hip flexor strength, our abdominal strength, but there's a little bit of leg flexibility and leg strength elements to this exercise as well. So we're going to work on, for this one, we're going to do 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other. From that standing position, bring one elbow to my knee. So opposite elbow to opposite knee, it's not the same side. So I have my right elbow here to my left knee. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alternating to the other side. Remember, standing up nice and tall. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So we're still feeling our heart rate. I know my heart rate's elevated a little bit. If you're doing this with me, our heart rate's up. We're getting the body warmed up. Our next exercise here, another pulsing move, focusing on our lower body. This time, we're going to be holding a squat. So with our squats here, we're holding a squat position and only going down and up by a couple inches. So it's a very short and small movement where you're going to start to feel that burn in your legs. We're going to go 20 repetitions from our squat. So with your squat, before you get started, if you need to hold on to something for stability, that's okay. But if you can hold the squat on your own, that's great too. With your squat, feet at least shoulder width apart or a little wider is totally fine. But I recommend your feet being at least shoulder width apart. So my feet at least shoulder width apart, probably a little wider. Still having my chest up as tall as I can. You don't want to bend over. You want to keep your chest up tall, eyes forward. I'm going to get down in my squat position. So my hips, butt coming back. Still trying to keep my chest up as much as I can. We're going to go just down and up. Very small movements. So we're not standing all the way up. So we're going to go 20 repetitions in our pulsing squat. So here we go. Bring your butt down, hips back, chest up. 20 repetitions. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, almost there. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There's definitely a burn going on in my quads. You probably felt that, especially maybe in your quads a little bit, maybe a little bit in your glutes. Really great lower body strengthening exercise. So as we go on to our next exercise now, a very important element of exercises related to strengthening our body for the type of exercise, as far as walking, running, jogging, that type of movement, is increasing our core strength and stability. It's still very important to have core strengthening exercise involved to help reduce risks of injury and soreness from that. So what we're going to do for our next one, we're down on the ground. So we're going to make our way down to the floor here, and we'll have what's called a seated torso rotation. Now with this one, you're going to have your butt on the ground, heels planted on the floor here, toes up, knees bent slightly. I'm going to have my hands up by my chest.
If you want to hold on to some weight, if you have a medicine ball or a dumbbell or something or a bottle of water, hold that by your chest for a little bit added challenge. But I'm going to do this with my body weight here. What we're going to do is I'm going to rotate slowly side to side while keeping my abdominal muscles tight. You want to keep your abdominal muscles tight the whole time. So we're going to do with our seated torso rotation, 20 total. So we're going to be alternating side to side. So it'll be 20 total torso rotations. So again, leaning back slightly, keep the abdominal muscles tight, hands by your chest. Here we go, rotating my chest out to one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep it tight. 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, and 20. My muscles feeling a little bit of a burn there too now, which is good. We're going to go right to our next exercise. So remember, with all of these exercises we're doing today, some of the best exercises you can do, great body weight exercises in general, but some of the best you can do to prep that body for distance walking, running, jogging outside. Our next one, our bird dogs. Pretty standard exercise here with your bird dogs. We're back on all fours again. Remember earlier when we were threading the needle, starting off the exact same way for this exercise. With your bird dogs, what we're going to do here, we're going to be working on our back and glute muscles especially. We're going to focus on extending one arm forward. So I'm going to extend my right arm forward while simultaneously extending my left leg straight back, like I'm kicking straight back to that wall behind me and reaching straight ahead again towards that wall in front of me with my arm. So again, I'll be going right arm forward, left leg back. We'll do 10 reps on one side, then 10 reps on the other. So here we go. Starting off, extending one arm forward, one leg straight back. 1, 2, all the way extended. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 more on this side. 8, 9, and 10. You should have felt that especially in that lower back and your glute, the side of your butt muscle, the same leg that's kicking straight back. You probably felt some muscle work there. We're going to switch over to the other side now. Same thing. Extending opposite arm out, opposite leg straight back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9, and 10. So again, I felt that right there in that lower back and butt muscle. Really good exercise. Going into our last couple exercises. Last 2 today. We're back up on our feet. This is a very common exercise, but an excellent one. Again, if you're right about to get started, you're going for a 2-3 mile walk or a jog or something. Really good way to kind of end your workout to get that heart rate primed and elevated for that type of movement. So just jumping jacks. Nothing crazy here. We're going to go through 20 jumping jacks. Remember, we're popping our feet out to the side while we simultaneously bring our arms directly above our head and then back down. So we'll pop our feet out, arms above me, and then pop my feet back to the middle, arms back down to my sides. 20 repetitions. We're only doing this exercise once, so let's make it count here, okay? Here we go. Starting off in 3, 2, 1. 20 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, home stretch, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, that was our last kind of cardiovascular based exercise where we're getting that heart rate up, still getting some good body movement. Our final exercise for the day, kind of an area we tend to overlook. Most people tend to overlook as far as stretching or just exercises in general to strengthen it. That's our calf muscles. A lot of walking and running injuries also relate to our tendon coming down from our muscle here, our Achilles tendon there, especially one of the most common injury locations. So we're going to focus on it's a little bit of a stretch / strengthening exercise. So we're going to do here are some heel raises, some calf raises. So we're going to focus on using our body weight We're bringing our heels up off the ground. You should feel your calf muscles get nice and hard and tight there. We're going to bring our heels up off the floor as high as we can. Pause for a moment at the top and then back down. We're just doing 12 total, and that's it. Last exercise of the day. Again, if you need to hold on to a wall for balance or a chair or table, that's okay. But try to keep as much of your weight on your body as possible. Try to only use as much assistance as needed to keep yourself stable. All right. Last exercise, again, feet at least shoulder width apart, chest up nice and tall. Bring our heels up, 1, and then back down. Pause at the top, remember, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 6, 7, nice and tight at the top, 8, 9, last one, 10, all right. I feel like I could go walk 10 miles right now. My legs feel really good and warmed up. My heart rate feels nice and warmed up here. As we end this live boot camp today, that was it. I want to just thank you again, everybody, for joining. I know we still have a few minutes left, but before we go real quick, I did have a trivia question. Now, I know some of you may have missed it. I did talk about something early on, and the first person to answer this trivia question is our winner. So again, I apologize if you missed it and you weren't able to join, within the first 5 or 7 minutes or so. You may have missed me mentioning this specific stat. Approximately how many miles are in 10,000 steps? First person to answer in the chat is our winner. Let's see. So remember, how many miles approximately are in 10,000 steps? How many miles? I think we had our first answer. Let me see here. Where did we get that? Oh yeah, we've got looks like Jennifer Navarez. There we go. Nice job, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Hector, for answering as well. You guys were right in there. How many miles were in 10,000 steps approximately? And that is 5. That is 5 miles. So again, I know some of you might have missed that. That was kind of our lead up to the 10,000 steps challenge. If you haven't registered yet, make sure you sign up for that. Don't feel like you have to wait until June 4th to start getting 10,000 steps. I encourage you to start doing that anyway. I know I try to strive for at least 10,000 steps every day, always, but I recommend starting that as soon as you can. Remember, get the MoveSpring app, 10K steps, CTA 10K steps, all caps. That will be your code to get in. But I wanted to thank you all so much for joining today. Make sure you look out for that next Move Monday coming up next week, the recorded Move Monday coming up. And the next live boot camp, you'll see that towards the end of June. But have a great day, everybody. Have a great week. Back in the office, if you're back in the office, welcome back, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much.